Now I am intimidated a bit. So I was told that I am supposed to take a humorous speech module here. So first of all, it is not going to be a module. I am here to share my experience, my learning, and something that would have helped me when I was preparing for a humorous speech contest. So take this thing right now out of your mind that it's a module. It's going to be a discussion, it's going to be a sharing of experience, it's going to be a fun. I'll try to make it fun, but that's what I can do. So first of all, can anyone tell me what kind of speakers are humorous speech speakers?
About personal life.
Okay.
You can make us laugh.
Okay. And?
About a funny situation. Create any funny situation.
Like there is a speech, and in the speech we have humor book.
Those who are frustrated.
Nice. So I'm basically taking a module here. That says a lot.
That's the solution it works.
Yes. All of your answers are correct, but I was actually going for a PJ. When I asked you that what kind of speakers are funny speakers, I wanted to say two. Anyone and everyone. How many of you think you're not a humorous speaker? Raise your hand. The ones who think that I am a motivational speech material or I am an international speech material, I cannot crack jokes in my speech, I cannot be a funny speaker. All wrong. I'm telling you, with the right technique, with the right process, with the right timing, anyone and everyone can be a humorous speech speaker. I'll tell you why. Because humorous speech is a funny way of giving a message. What do we do with our speeches? Usually with our speeches. We come on stage, we have a topic in mind, we narrate a story, we tell some instance, and at the end of the speech, while we conclude, we have a message. Correct? Right? But with the humorous speech, you just have to add a little bit of humor to it. You have to make people laugh so that they understand the message better. If you're giving a humorous speech, you cannot eliminate the message. You can add humor, but the message stays. Okay? Moving on. Now, I had this confusion when I was beginning my humorous speech journey. What humorous speech is not. Many young speakers, many newbie speakers confuse it with a stand-up comedy. Okay? How many of you love stand-up comedy? Favorite comedian? Zagar. But with all due respect to the stand-up comedians, with all due respect to the job they have, and all due jealousy with the money that they make out of it, it is not a humorous speech for two reasons. Firstly, what is the basic element of any speech? Basic elements for any speech.
Giving any message.
Structure.
Structure.
Content.
Content. Okay. So in a humorous speech, it is eventually a speech. So you have to have an opening, you have to have a body, and you have to conclude it. This is not the case with stand-up comedy. Think about any 7 or 5 minute video that you have seen. They may start from here, they will take it somewhere else that you have never even imagined in your life, and then at the end of the video, you are left thinking, okay, how did he reach from here to there? How did this happen? But you had a good time. So your money was, well, not wasted. That's all I can say. So this is the difference between a stand-up comedy and a humorous speech. Secondly, and the most important one, in a humorous speech, you never go below the belt. Never. In stand-up comedy, you can use anything and everything that makes your audience laugh. But in a humorous speech, especially in a humorous speech in Toastmasters, 3 forbidden taboo topics, you have to handle it very tastefully. The audience, the speakers, the people should not get offended by what you're saying. So humorous speech is funny, but then again, it's not a stand-up comedy. Okay? Now how I divide my preparation whenever I prepare for for any speech now that I have deciphered the logic behind cracking a humorous speech. All my speeches are humorous speeches. I don't know how that happened, but it somehow happened. Even when I'm delivering a level 3 or a level 4, the audience is laughing. So it's actually a good thing, but they don't take me seriously. So that's the bad thing for me. So very first thing. I'm not going to bore you with a long module, just 3 things. Very first, know your audience. Because the speech that you're going to crack here will get a response from there. You crack a joke here, your audience will laugh. Your joke fails, your audience will not laugh. So it is very important that when you're drafting your punches, when you're drafting your jokes, you have to have a knowledge of what sort of audience you're going to have. For instance, if I stand here and crack a joke about Toastmasters, what is the percentage that audience will laugh? Because all of you are Toastmasters. If I crack a joke about men or women, all of you are men and women, I guess. Men and women combined. So they will laugh. Most of us are working, the level goes a little down. Some of us are into, high paid jobs, not the likes of me. So it all depends on the commonality, your audience. Now how are you going to diversify your audience? 4 things. The age group, the mindset, the diversity, and the most common one, commonality. Okay? What is the age group of your audience that is sitting? What is the mindset that they carry? If you're talking about Delhi and somebody gets into a fight, the very first reaction that Delhiites give is Teri to. So you aim that. If you're going to Mumbai, if you start talking about rain, that is the mindset that they have. If you go to Chennai or some other region, that they have something. So that's how you target your audience. Okay? The age group. Most of us are what, 30s, 20s, some 70s, but that's fine. So yeah, you have to take care of the age group that you're dealing with. Okay? Lastly, but not the least, commonality. Something that everybody has in common. If you talk about smartphone, everybody has. If you talk about, relationships, everybody has either been in one or not been in one or broken up or probably in one but trying to break up. So that's how your commonality works. So very first thing is knowing your audience. It is very important because that's where your jokes fail, that's where your jokes work. Okay? Secondly, how do I select a speech? Now I have known my audience, I know the kind of people I'll be delivering my speech to, but what do I tell them? Something that makes them laugh so much that I actually end up getting one of those. Correct? How many of you face this situation? Not able to select the topic. I usually have 3 to 4 topics. And then I'm not able to decide, okay, if this one is funny, if this one is funny, or this one is funny. Which one should I take to this stage? Okay? So again, 4 things. How are you going to decide your topic? Humor is equals to tragedy plus time. I am going to recite a few words and think of the best humor speech that you know. And try if you can remotely relate to it. Okay. Struggle. Any sort of struggle. Any sort of hardship that they faced. Any tragedy that happened. Any unusual event. Any stress. Any pain. Relatable? If people are traveling in Delhi metro, that's a struggle, that's a tragedy, and that's stress. And everybody's going to laugh on it. The ones who travel in the metro on a daily basis. Okay? So you pick your tragedy, think of the most tragic thing that has ever happened. I'm sure we are very rich in this context. Yes. See? Then add a little bit of timing to it. That's how you get your topic. And since it is your tragedy, nobody will be able to explain it better than your tragedy. We are the most tragic people of this house. We are Indians. So first thing is your tragedy. Think of the most tragic situation. Try to get it with timing, and you will have a topic for your speech. Secondly, the words. Now, what I mean by that? If I'm here standing in front of you and talking about, oh my, you, oh, thou, wow, will you be able to understand it? The Shakespeare language or the cat level vocabulary. If I use simple words, you will be able to understand it better. So laughter is inversely proportional to words. The more difficult words you use, there is a lesser number of percentage that you will get laughter from your audience. I'll tell you why. Because when you crack a joke, your audience gets about 2 to 3 seconds to understand and laugh. But if you have given them a word, if you have given them a phrase, if you have given them something that they don't know, well, when I sit in the audience, I'm not as smart as the speaker. I'm a dumb audience. I don't know any vocabulary words, that's why I joined Toastmasters. So I need very simple words, I need something that I can instantly grasp, I need something that I feel relatable to. If I hear a word that I am not able to understand, I will think, oh, I am so inferior. I don't know this word. What is this person talking? I don't even know the meaning of the words he's talking. So don't use very complex words. Third, change of direction. What is change of direction? Anyone? What do you understand by change of direction?
Deviation.
Yes. And?
Advice.
Yes. And? So, if I tell you guys that I'm a really pretty, simple, evil girl, you saw what happened there? I used pretty, I used simple, and then evil. This is what I used in one of my speeches, that ever since I was a kid, I was good at nothing. So good at nothing, good at nothing. There's a difference. You can manipulate your audience, you can manipulate your words, and that is where you get your humor, that is where you get your laughter. Okay? So, any questions till now? Lastly is your characters. Now, all the speeches or most of the speeches that you have given must have characters. Even if it's one single character, it's you. But it is a character. Right? So if you cannot make your speech funny, make your characters funny. How are you going to do that? Like when I talk about my mom, and I talk about her all the time because she talks about her, she talks all the time. So I have to talk about her all the time. I use this. So instantly, when I am having this gesture on stage, people can connect and it's funny. So you don't really have to tell the audience what you're doing while you're switching the characters, which we usually do in our speeches. Just do this or that, or if you're talking about your dad, well, I cannot explain how we talk about your dad because, well, dads are funny. Yes. So you pick your character, you pick their style, give them something that you think will be funny. Give them something, you can give them a voice, particular kind of body language, it's up to you. All of it is up to you. If you're not able to make your content funny, make your characters funny. People will laugh. It works. So now you have your audience, you have your content. How are you going to deliver it? All of this preparation that you have been doing was backstage, was offline. Now when the show time comes, and that's why I call it the show time. Okay? So this is your battlefield. Your speech is your weapon. You have to fight the audience. Now, some of the weapons would work, some of the weapons would not work. The very first thing that I would tell you, if your punches don't work on stage, and this will happen n number of times, more number of times that you can imagine that your punches will fail. If you have given a humorous speech, you would have experienced it. Do not lose your confidence. Even before you I haven't even started the third thing, but I'm telling you this before. Do not lose your confidence. If your punches did not work, it's okay. It's completely okay. You move on with your speech without losing your confidence. Okay? So very first thing when you think about the show time is exaggeration. Although I was not a fan of exaggeration when I initially started working on my humorous speeches, but eventually I realized that it plays a very important role in a humorous speech. Very important. Then again, you don't overdo it. If you are exaggerating something, it should look natural. If I'm telling something, it should be real. If I'm telling that I worked so much that I nearly reached Mount Everest. Imagine it. If I tell you I worked so much that I nearly reached Mars, what are you talking about, dude? You don't walk to Mars, you fly. So exaggerate, but not to an extent when it stops being real, when it stops being natural. Okay? Secondly, divide your stage area. This can actually work for a motivational speech or a humorous speech or an international speech, whichever type you want. So if you are using situations, places, phases in your speeches, you divide your stage area. When I gave my district level humorous speech, I had North India and South India in my speech. So I divided the stage area as North and South. So when I was in that part of the stage, audience knew that I was talking about North. When I was in this part of stage, audience knew that I was talking about South. Okay? And this is pretty much it when it comes to framing a humorous speech. There are some tips that I would want to give. I don't count them as a module pointer, I count them as a tip because it is not mandatory. But this is something that I experienced while I was preparing for the humorous speech. Number one, be as comfortable as you can on stage. Very important. Very, very important. Because this is what I did because I had the prettiest dress chosen for the contest day that I almost failed to realize that I am delivering a humorous speech and I have gestures. Which I could not do because I was not comfortable on stage. So pick the dress that you're most comfortable. If you have props, use them accordingly. Okay? Secondly, timing. Try to time your humorous speech from 6 minutes 30 seconds to 6 minutes 45 seconds. Again, I am saying try. Now you must be thinking, we get 7 minutes 30 seconds, we have ample time to make people laugh. Why is she asking us to time it from 6:30 to 6:45? Because when you crack a joke, you have to give your audience time to laugh. You take a pause for 1 second. Let them laugh. If the laughter goes for 5 seconds, you let them laugh. And how are you going to compensate all this buffer time when your speech is 7 minutes 30 seconds? You cannot give them time. So when you think that the audience, actually this is the cue. If you have cracked a joke and you take a pause, even the ones who haven't understood your joke will understand that in 2 seconds. And then they will laugh. Some tubelights, I am one of them. So this is your cue. Pauses and timing. Very important in your humorous speech. Okay? So these were some of the tips. This was some of the module that I was supposed to deliver. I don't know if you liked it or not, but I really liked delivering it to such a wonderful audience. And any questions anybody has? Yes.
What is
Okay. Which one you decide?
She raised the hand.
Okay.
Live.
I can speak first. No, नहीं है. You ask me.
you said tragedy plus timing. What do you mean by timing?
Timing, okay. Exactly. First of all, I just explained you the causes. Okay. Timing is that how do you deliver your speech? Okay, my instance was that what I delivered. I can give you only my example and I can use that because I have all the copyright on my example. So I used my tragedy of traveling to a South Indian city and living there for 2.5 years when I did not know anything about the language, the food, the people. But then you have to time it accordingly. You have to tell them what happened before. And then how it all changed and how much of a struggle it was. If you start from here, people don't know what was it like for you when you lived here. So that is your timing. You are giving them a zone, developing the zone. Okay? Then your punches. Your punches should. Have you watched comedy movies?
Yes.
How do you think punches work?
I laugh.
No, but that's your job. That's actually the full point of having a punch. If you don't have, what is the point of having a comedy movie? So this is exactly how the punches work. You have to time it properly. You have to know which line to deliver when. When I used the good is nothing dialogue, after good, I took a 1 second pause and then good at nothing. So this is what I meant by time. You have to know where to stop, you have to know where to pick up your speed, you have to know where to slow down, you have to know where you have to give the audience time. You even have to know when audience is taking a lot of time, let them laugh if I'm time. There might be people laughing so much. I don't want to get disqualified. Okay? I hope that answered your question.
You might want to also explain the importance of stage, because in the district they want to get a much bigger stage and that can get overwhelming. So if you want to touch on that, how you overcame that in the district.
To be very honest, I did it. But yes, there is always a strategy to overcome stage. When you give a speech or when you give a contest at club level, this is your stage. Okay. When you go to area, you go to division, the stage is not as big as the district one. Okay? So you have to think about that the stage that I am going to get at district level is going to be twice or thrice this size. Yes, it's exactly the whole size of this zone. So the movements that you have timed on stage, you'll have to take care of your steps. If you have certain thing in your speech like, okay, I'm taking 3 steps in front. So if I take 3 steps here, these are probably covered in what, 2 seconds? But the 3 steps on district stage will not be covered in 3 seconds. Trust me, it won't be. So you have to practice your movements as well, not just your speech. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean that's something a lot of people face challenge. The
I
moment they get a different stage, it becomes a different ballgame altogether.
different stage, different
In a
audience.
human speech, timing is everything. And the moment you take a step wrong, your timing goes out of that.
Is mic available? Hand mic or?
It's both. It's where you have a collar mic and you have a headphone mic as well. It depends on
There is
which
no hand mic.
There's no hand mic. Also, this very good point Rupinder pointed out is that the size of audience. When I faced a district audience, it was in 2018 table topics, and there were about 250, 300 people. So I am used to seeing 30 people. And in meetings, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8. So when I faced a crowd of 300 people and they were all looking at you, okay, why are you here? What are you going to tell us? You think you are more deserving than we are? So that was one of the challenges that I faced initially when I went on the table topics stage for the first time, the district finals. And that was something I lost it there still. I cannot face such a big audience. But that is when I knew the second time that I don't have to be scared of the audience. I still did better than them. That's why I'm shining here.
The other
Yes.
thing is that in the size of audience, but in an audience of size 30, the laughter is going to last for 3 seconds, maximum 4 seconds. In 300, it's going to be as long as 7 seconds. You have to compensate for that.
That's why I said time in speech from 6:30 to 6:45. Because this is what actually happened with me. I had a punch in my speech. It is on Sarojini. And I had Sarojini. No, this is not from Sarojini. This was a gift. So I used that punch and everybody laughed. And I had timed it for about 5 seconds. But okay, this punch will have a laughter for 5 seconds. But the laughter went on for 10 to 11 seconds. And there's one thing that you don't step into the laughter. If people are laughing, you don't start talking. Let them laugh because that's what you're getting bumped about. The laughter. So in that time that I was letting the people laugh, I had no words. So I used some gestures. I did this, I did that to compensate my timing on stage, and people were laughing. But that led me to, like, the green card was up. And I knew this is not when the green card is up. I had a lot of content in my speech and the green card was already up because I allowed a lot of time for the people to laugh because they were laughing. So I was like, but then again, don't be so stupid like me. Time your speech timely. Okay? With the stage area and with the size of audience. Keep that in mind. Yes, ma'am, you were asking.
Yeah, you talked about exaggeration.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Can you give some example, like how to limit it down? Because when I talk, I exaggerate a lot. I don't see the like, could you give some example? Like,
You give me your example. I'll exaggerate. What do you over exaggerate? You think over exaggerate?
like I said, in black.
Okay, so I'll just give you one example from my speech. I had to talk about this South Indian guy. He was an autowala, a vehicle driver. So I could have just said that I met an autowala, the autowala bhaiya or whatever. Instead, since he was a South Indian guy, I exaggerated it like this. This is the lungi gesture. Now, no autowalas when you go and reach there will do like this. They don't do like this. I have been there, I know that most of them don't even wear lungis, trust me. Except for the ones sitting on movement. I don't know what they have. This is a very restricted environment, I can't go into the details. But yes, I didn't have to do this, but I chose to do it. Because it was a funny gesture, people laughed. So that's how you draw. And then again, you should not go in the negative way. I did this. I also did this and this, but then some of my mentors told me that don't do this. People sitting in the audience might get offended if they are of the same class. So I restricted it to this. I did not do this, I did not do this. I wanted to, but I didn't. Because this is what they do. People are getting offended. So I hope that answered your question. Any more questions? Anything on your mind? Yes,
How
sir.
many punches do you use this?
So you can give n number of punches. If you can give n number of punches, can you please give me a monitor? Because there is no such restriction that, but yes, it is advised that you make your audience laugh in the first 10 to 15 minutes and last 20 seconds.
Seconds.
Seconds, sorry. No, not one. Let me complete. So 10 to 15 seconds initially, if you make them laugh, it's a good thing for you. In the last 20 seconds, when you're delivering the conclusion, when you're delivering the message, if you make them laugh, it is advised that it is a good thing. So any number of punches that you want to deliver, you can, but it will be good if you have them in the beginning and in the end as well. Two more questions? Okay, then I would like to hand the sage back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much for being a lovely